So let's change things up and switch to a much lighter topic for today's video, regional jokes. This idea came to me when I remembered a Lithuanian friend telling me that there's an ongoing joke about Estonians being slow. I thought I would run with this idea and see what jokes Lithuanians had for their Baltic neighbors and what our neighbors had to say about Lithuania. So let's get started. First, let's see what Latvia and Estonia have for Lithuanians. I really need to emphasize that this is not at all serious, and I'm sure at the end of the day, people across the region support one another and have good relations, especially when they're united against a common enemy. But again, let's keep it light today. So most of these jokes come from Reddit, while others come from people I've asked. So here's the first one. Who's faster than the wind? The answer? A Lithuanian with a stolen BMW. This goes along with the joke/reputation among Estonians that Lithuanians steal their cars. Apparently, this is rooted in some true stories. Considering the fact that Lithuanians do indeed love BMWs, that first joke seems quite accurate. The association with cars now makes even more sense after learning about Lithuania's post-Soviet period in the 1990s, when there was big business in buying cars from Western Europe and reselling them in Lithuania. Next up, someone on Reddit pointed out that a lot of Lithuanian words end in AS. For example, labas, namas, ratas, batas, and many more. Even some words you would know in English have been Lithuanianized with AS, such as telefonas or internetas. So Latvians joke that even Lithuanian dog barks also end in AS. So in English, this would sound something like woofus, woofus. Now, someone else joked that Lithuanians are just Estonians who are trying to speak Latvian. And someone else said that Lithuanians aren't very funny people, and thus there are no jokes about them. Estonians also apparently joke that they are smarter than Latvians and Lithuanians. This is probably to counteract the slow Estonian joke, which we will get to later in the video. One Estonian on Reddit also joked that Lithuania never experienced the 2008 economic crisis since they didn't have an economy to begin with. Finally, one Latvian friend tells me that Lithuanians have a reputation of being viltiki. This apparently means to be like a wolf, or untrustworthy, or backstabbing business dealers. But his own personal interpretation of this, after living many years in Lithuania, is that Lithuanians are actually better at business than Latvians, he said jokingly. But turning the tables, what do Lithuanians think of their Baltic neighbors? Well, as we noted earlier, there is the ongoing joke that Estonians are slow. Apparently, this ongoing joke is shared by both Latvians and Lithuanians. And when it comes to Lithuanian jokes about Latvians, they apparently call them horseheads, or žirga galvas. The myth is that this makes Latvians angry, but several sources tell me that Latvians don't really care about this. Not exactly related to Lithuania, but Estonians apparently also joke that Latvians have 6 toes. So combining Estonian and Lithuanian jokes about Latvians, we have this fun graphic that someone made up. But I think that's about it for jokes that people of the Baltic countries have for one another, as far as I know at least. There are probably more, and if you're Lithuanian, or Latvian or Estonian, be sure to mention any I might have missed in the comment section. From my research on this silly topic, I got a strong sense that this was all just for fun, and I also feel confident in saying that Lithuanians, Latvians, and Estonians generally get along quite well with each other, definitely more so than other countries that are neighbors with one another. The Baltic Way political demonstration in 1989 and its call for independence from Soviet occupation was just one example of how these 3 nations have shared history and values. Today, they're political and military allies, and also major trading partners with each other. So if you have any other jokes to add, or other regional quirks that exist between the Baltic countries, feel free to share them by leaving a comment. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.